How to start an auto repair business and make $201,000 a year. There's a massive opportunity for this business because interest rates are super high. That means people cannot afford new cars and they have to stick with their older used car for a longer period of time. When that happens, those cars require repairs and service. You could take advantage of this by starting this business today. My name's Nate Jones. I post a video every single day at 1:15 p.m. telling you how to start a business, how to grow a business, how to potentially buy a business, and how to get to the next level in your entrepreneurial journey. So if you like that type of content, hit like and subscribe. Okay, we're going to get into how much you can make, how much does it cost, the profit, and some important tips and tricks that you need to have to run this business. Okay, let's get into how much you can make. This all depends on the type of services you offer. You may do body shop, you may do certain services, you may have to send them to another shop for alignments or stuff like that, but it really depends on the type of services and maintenance that you provide. But on a kind of a national level, the average repair or revenue that you would make per repair is about $500, right? Some repairs cost $2,000 or $3,000, some cost less, but the average for somebody coming in and out for a repair is going to be around $500. The average maintenance cost is around $100. So quick oil change, some are more, some are less, but we'll do $100. So an average day for you, just as an owner-operator, you don't have any employees yet, you're going to probably do one repair and 2 to 3 maintenances, maybe 2 to 3 oil changes. So a day, you're going to pull in about $700 a day, and you're going to probably work around 6 days a week. Maybe some days you may work longer. You may be able to do a little bit more repair. I don't know, but you're going to do about 6 days a week work, which is about $4,200 a week that you're pulling in on a monthly basis. That's $16,800. On an annual basis, that's $201,600 that you're making per year. So that's really good. But let's get into how much you're actually profiting, because revenue doesn't matter unless you're actually holding on to some of the money. The money comes in, it goes out. How much are we holding on to in between those two amounts? So let's get into this. Know your costs associated with starting a business. Okay, so what we're going to break down here is if you're getting an existing auto repair shop lease, so let's say it's a vacant auto repair shop, and maybe it's got 1 or 2 bays on it because you're just an owner operator right now, you're just all by yourself. So that's going to cost you about $30,000 a year because it's going to be a retail location that's probably going to be close to a major highway. So you're about $30,000 a year. Tools and equipment is going to cost you to get about $30,000 worth of cost to get everything set in place for you to have your auto repair shop. You may have some existing tools, so that cost may not be as expensive. Your insurance is going to be about $1,500 a year. Your other ancillary expenses that is kind of a catch-all, we're going to put an extra $10,000 in there because running a business is all about cost, okay? So your total annual expenses is going to be about $70,000. So your cash flow, if you really think about it, $201,000 a year in income, $70,500 in expenses, and let's tack in another $30,000 for buying oil, buying different liquids and things for an auto repair shop that you're going to need that goes into profit and net income. You're going to profit about $100,000 a year that first year. Okay, so that going into year 2, we're going to profit about $130 because we're taking out those equipment and tools that we've bought. Okay, so that first year we're going to profit about $100,000. Going into year 2, $130. What I'm going to tell you right now is that you need to commit to expanding your shop and potentially bringing on another employee at the beginning as on a part-time basis, but you really need, as your work blows up, you need to continue, because this is kind of word of mouth. Once you start doing a great job for somebody, they're going to refer tons of people your way. So you need to be prepared to be able to bring somebody on a part-time basis right away, if not on a full-time basis down the road. But if you're netting $131,000 that second year, you need to be bringing somebody on to help you scale, because at the end of the day, you can't do everything as the owner. You need to eventually bring somebody on and eventually build a team of mechanics where you're just managing the shop. So when you go on vacation, the business continues to make money. Because right now with this thing, you're not taking any time off or anything because you're running a small business and you're trying to be profitable. So you take a time off in this business, the whole shop shuts down, okay? So The next thing we're going to do is we're going to think of all the ways in which this business idea will not work. And we're going to create strategies around minimizing it, okay? So the first thing is we get no cars that we need to repair. We get no cars that we need to maintenance. This is a marketing fail. We need to create a marketing plan. We need to do retail marketing at our store. We need to do local marketing out in the community, which does cost some money. And we also need to be asking each customer that comes in if they have any referrals. Hey, would you be happy to, throw our name out there if anybody has any car issues? Please, we're wanting to grow. We're a growing business. Asking for referrals, a lot of people don't do it because they're scared of what somebody might say, and it's kind of awkward. But if you ask for referrals, you will get more referrals, okay? Number 2, we need to have timely service. If we tell somebody, hey, come back at 4, the car's going to be done, it needs to be done at 4. So make sure you're managing your calendar, managing your day, that you're not saying yes to everything or providing great expectations of when that car is going to be done, so the customer isn't upset when they come back and their car hasn't been touched, okay? So if you can't get to something for 2 or 3 days, tell the customer that. If they leave and they go somewhere else, that's better than having a bad review on your Google page or having a bad review out in the community. So make sure you send people away if you can't service them. Next thing to do is we need to have quality work. So that means that you need to know what you're doing. You should have already worked at a mechanic shop. You should have already been a licensed mechanic for an extended period of time. You should know what you're doing before you start this shop, okay? Even if you're wanting to start a business like this in a more passive standpoint where you don't want to be the worker, you want to be kind of at far as an owner, this is not a type of business that you can kind of run in an absentee version. Okay, absentee means you're the owner, you're never in there, you're never working. Well, what's going to happen is if you do it that way, an employee's going to quit on you and you can't do anything for 4 days because you don't know how to change a tire, okay? So you, as the owner, need to know every job in that mechanic shop, in that repair shop, so you can step in at any moment. So know what you're doing before you start this business. Number 4, failing to scale. I mentioned this before, but you need to commit to scaling this business, because if not, it's going to be an endless grind for the rest of your life. And you're going to get in retirement and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm overworked and I've been just grinding every single year and things happen and I only make around 100, 120 a year. What's the point? You're right. What's the point? You need to be reinvesting back in, scaling this, adding locations, and almost franchising your mechanic store so that you can continue to grow it and scale it so you can have financial freedom and generational wealth someday. Because if you're thinking about selling your auto repair shop, you're not going to be able to sell it unless it has multiple locations and proven track of revenue. So make sure you're building a business. Best way to do that is have multiple locations and scale it out to where there's employees. So the next person coming in is an owner and they don't have to be in the shop all day. Because I want to buy businesses, and I don't want to buy a business that I have to work in every day. I want to buy a business that's already working. I come in, I fine tune it, and I continue to make money. Okay, so that's think of the ways that it will fail. The next thing is we need to, I call it legal up. We need to get with an attorney. We need to get with a CPA. We need to get with an insurance agent. An insurance agent's going to get us our insurance. An attorney is going to help us with our paperwork. When you ask a customer, hey, it's going to cost $2,000 to repair X, Y, and Z, they need to sign something. And you need to have a document that's reviewed by an attorney that if they sign it and they do not pay you, you can easily take them to court, put a lien on their property, whatever. It's all outlined in that contract. A lot of people don't have these and they get stuck with people not paying them, okay? So in order to minimize this, I would work with a local attorney to draft that document up and make sure that if something goes south, you can call him and say, are you able to help me if somebody does not pay me, okay? Or do you know somebody that would be able to help me if somebody doesn't pay me, okay? Also with a local CPA is going to help you get your entity formed and have your business set up to where you're accounting for everything, so when tax time comes, you're easily able to file your taxes. So commit to starting this business. If you're working for somebody else right now and you want to start this business, I think if you know how to do it and you have a business sense, kind of like what I've outlined in this video, I think you'll be successful. So commit to it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Be happy to have a free 30-minute phone call with you. My name's Nate Jones, and like and subscribe. Thank you.